the wholesaler that sold me the place pretty much gave it to me as if it didn't need much work. Well, when we got in there, we started getting going, we realized we need a roof. You've been following me online, you know that I'm a real estate investor, I'm a business credit consultant. Mr. Darrell Finley, Fly Book, SBU. Come check us out. SBU is Silverback University, the apes in the room. Don't forget it. So yeah, this is this was the first flip that we did. Just to, and I want to point out like all the mistakes that was made. I'm sitting back. I have at this point I've accumulated, before acquiring this house, I've accumulated a substantial amount of money in business funding, uncollateralized capital from the bank that I acquired through my business, meaning I can do whatever I want to do with it, right? The bank only concerned that you go pay the money back. So I decided to invest in real estate. The new owners done did a few things. Notice my mailbox. So one of my signatures is the matching mailbox, to have the mailbox match the house. So as you can see, the house has the black roof. The mailbox has the black roof. How you doing? As you can see. So that's one of like our signatures right there. Mm-hmm. Just to have the mailbox match the roof. We'll pull up to another property, you'll see the same thing. So at the time I go to look at this house, I have a substantial amount in business funding. I go to look at the house. Let me tell you how green I was. I offered the people full price. I got this house from a wholesaler, and they were asking, I forget how much they were asking, but I offered them full price. So of course they jumped on it, and they pretty much walked me through the process. Now, I had just made my mind up that I was going to fail forward. I knew I didn't know what I was doing. I knew that I was just going to have to learn from my mistakes. I was well prepared for that. And some people may say, you know, well, why did you invest in the information to know? Well, at that time, I just didn't have anyone that I felt comfortable with investing in. It's a lot of people that's out here, you know, doing what it is that they do. They put on for social media, I guess you would say, and they would appear to be doing things that they're really not. And I'll just leave that right there. So at that time, I just made up in my mind that, hey, I know I'm going to mess up, but I'm just willing to fail forward. I'm willing to learn from my mistakes, pay for my mistakes, and just go through the process. So I put the offer in for the place. I put up the earnest money deposit, $5,000. They're like, hey, you know, if you need hard money, you know, typically with fix and flips, you need to have, you know, hard money. You can't finance those deals because they won't pass inspections. And a lot of the times when you get a property through a wholesaler, they don't have an inspection period. At that time, I didn't understand, like, you know, I could just easily come with my contractor and kind of more or less do an inspection just so that I know prior to getting into the deal what I'm getting into. So the wholesaler that sold me the place pretty much gave it to me as if it didn't need much work. Well, when we got in there, we started getting going, we realized we need a roof. So I offer full price. That's the first mistake, right? And I would later come to see that the wholesaler had $17,000 on top of their agreement with the seller. So the wholesaler made a $17,000 assignment. So I was out 17 grand on the front end. You know, 5 grand is cool. 17 is like, woo. But okay, no problem. So we get into it, we start the rehab, and we realize we need a roof. Okay, so we get the roof done. Luckily, we got good credit, so we just financed getting the roof done. No problem. Another mistake, you know, so I didn't have the proper lens going into it. I didn't fully know what I was getting into. So I didn't know what to look for. I mean, knowing what I know now, I would have known when I went to look at that property that it needed a new roof. But, you know, you don't know. So we needed a new roof. That was like the biggest hiccup. The third mistake I would say, so it's offering price. It was just lack of knowledge. And then I came from the rental world. So my house, my personal house, you guys would call it house hacking. So my wife and I acquired a duplex FHA loan some years ago, and we still have tenants today that pay the majority of the mortgage. Great. So I come from that world of rentals, and when I redid my rental unit, the painter came in. He's like, hey man, just use maintenance white. A lot of the times people want to paint the place their own colors anyway. So I'm going into a flip situation using rental information, meaning I figured I could just paint the flip white, make it clean, because the new buyers are going to come in and paint it the color that they want to paint it. I was completely wrong. So I've learned that buyers don't have vision, meaning everything has to already be done. You can't say, I'm not going to do this, and I'm going to leave room for the buyer to make it their own. It doesn't go like that. Buyers come in, it has to be as fully done as it could possibly be, right? So I go ahead and I paint this place white from top to bottom. The next thing I did that was a really big mistake was it was priced wrong. So not only am I inexperienced, everyone I'm working with at the time is very inexperienced. So we priced the place, we put it on the market, and it took for someone to come in with some experience to say, hey man, you guys are priced completely off. Like, you're not gonna get that amount for this property based on the comparables. You've been following me online, you know that I'm a real estate investor, I'm a business credit consultant. Mr. Darrell Finley, Flybook, SBU. Come check us out. SBU is Silverback University, the apes in the room. Don't forget it.